So let's talk about importing data for a second. Ultimately, we need to end up with this import data tab looking a bit like this. To do that, you're going to be given a dashboard data file. The dashboard data file you have is going to look like this to begin with. What you're going to see is on this first column is the RBC measure number. Second one is the previous measure name, the name that exists from the data dictionary, and what the comparative is. And we've taken a look at this before. When you get this spreadsheet, you'll find that where there is no data is actually blank. So the process of importing the data is straightforward. So all we have to do is copy all this data. So I'm just going to hit Control-C to copy it. And then we go over to the CBO dashboard application, and we're just going to paste it in. So put your cursor in cell A1 and Control-V, paste it in. And you'll see what happens is the data actually shows up with a 0. Now the problem with a 0, if I were just to pick any one of these charts at random, is when you have a 0, it ends up on the chart creating this line across the bottom. The senior management team decided that that line across the bottom was quite a distraction. So what we've done is changed it so that you now need to go in and replace these zeros with the pound capital N/A, and that removes the line. So to do that, we've created a macro. So we go to macro, and you're going to run the macro that's called remove zeros. These are listed alphabetically, so it'll be down the bottom. So you run that macro, and what happens is it replaces those zeros with pound NA. Now when I go back to that same chart, the line's gone. So what that does cause, of course, is over in the charts, everywhere there's no data, it puts in pound NA. So once you've done that, the data import is correct. Now it's important to note that imported data file must have these measures in this sequence with only these comparatives. You cannot insert any rows or any measures, because these imports are not horizontal lookups. They directly look that specific cell up out of the import data sheet. And if actual for this measure is no longer in imported data cell E49, you're going to get all the wrong data on your dashboard. So that's a high risk point that you need to be careful of, that's baked into this prototype.